now. Hello, everybody. Let me hide the floating panel, controlling panel here. So yes, it is already 25th of June, and we're in the middle of the summer here, and I will surprise you all with a lot of good news today. Who am I? Kaat Jacobs. I am the communication manager of this platform, and I got in contact with this platform in 2017. Wow, 2017. So yeah. How did I got in contact? I got in contact with this platform through an engineer. I love technology. I don't know about you, but I love technology. So what happened? I got in contact with this technology. I investigated. I like to inform myself before I take any steps, and especially invest. And so, yes, this was a mind blower. I didn't realize, I didn't know that something like this existed on the planet Earth. So I was really blown away. So I told all my friends and colleagues and neighbors and family, you know, we need to do something for the environment. We need to do something for the world. And this is an opportunity. So my team grew very fast. And that is why the board members invited me to a business coaching course, because I am a life coach and a health coach, I was not a business coach. And business was not my niche, not at all. So I went to this course, and that was for 1 year in every month in another country. We were 130 people from all over the world. There were 5 translators in the room, always with us. And our coach was Yuri Galata. He was some, you know, very strong coach, but I'm very happy that he was my coach. So after this year, this group was called the team, the leaders team. After this year, there were 3 leaders chosen from the leaders team as the leaders of the leaders team, and I was one of them. So the board members asked me to become the communication manager. So who are the board members? Here you got Evgeny Kudryshov, that is the financial director. He is getting encounters with the payment problems, payment system problems. There are a lot at this moment in the world, so he's doing a great job. Then we have Irina Volkova. She's the only female board member. She's an engineer. Then you have Mr. František Solar. He's also an engineer, and Dr. Maslov. He's a lawyer and a doctor in economics. And Mr. František and Dr. Maslov, they fly around the world to see new projects, to see new opportunities for projects. And then you have Alexei Shukurdev. He is also an engineer, and he's the youngest of them all. And he's into crypto and the blockchain and so on. So he's a very interesting person also. Then what is SkyWorld's community? SkyWorld's community is a crowdfunding platform. So actually we gather money for the technology, and the technology is called UST, Unitsky String Technology Inc. Innovative Transportation. And the transportation itself is called USky. Yeah. So SkyWorld Community is a platform that gathers money, and we offer you a loan. You can have 2 options, or you get your money back after 3 years with 4% interest, or you can become a co-owner of Unitsky String Technology. And of course, a lot of people choose that second option, because becoming a co-owner of such a big technology is something that will never come back into your life. So what does SkyWorld's community platform offer you? Yes, you can become a co-owner, or we call it a participant, or you can become a partner. That is somebody like me who want to share this opportunity in the world and tell the world about this technology, and that you can become a co-owner. Or you can become both, like me. I'm a big co-owner, and I'm also a partner. So I'm an active person on the platform that is very happy and honored to show you what this opportunity gives you in your life and in the world. So what is this technology all about? Yeah, I can tell you 100,000 times that it is very, very special, but you need to see it with your own eyes. And I will tell you more in detail. So this is Unitsky. Unitsky is an innovation technology. That means it's not, you know, it's completely new. Nobody knows it. And it is in the air. You can see it on the picture. It is above the ground. So that means no traffic jam. And it is called string technology. I will tell you all about it, why it is called string technology. And it is highly, highly ecological developed. There is even space engineering in there. And we can build anywhere. And I also will all tell you why that is. So we all know that nature challenges our current transportation, and that we made a big mess. Yeah. So Unitsky gives a very simplified, hassle-free and solution for cargo and passenger. And there is no effective solution at this moment. How can I be so sure about that? Because I was one of the people who was attending 4 meetings in the harbor, the port of Antwerp. Yeah, that is one of the biggest ports in the world. And you can see me sit here at the table, holding my head in my hand, shocked that there were so many problems with transportation. So the people of the port asked us, go please back to the CEO and ask him if you have a solution for cargo. By the way, this is Vladi Volkov, the engineer who introduced me to the technology. So he went to the CEO, and I tell you the rest of the story later. So what does Unitsky offer you? This is what we already did until now. Let me hide this floating panel until somebody comes in. So we have already a lot of vehicles developed in these last 6 years. If you know that a normal car brand, like for example, Mercedes, they take 6 years for one vehicle. We already have 14 vehicles. We started with this one, Unibike, for 2 people, and the Unibus, and that was the plan. Yeah, that was the plan. But then there was a bigger demand, a much bigger demand. So what happened? We developed vehicles for very cold temperatures. These are very cold temperatures, but also vehicles for very high temperatures and moist and sand. That can be very lethal for the technology. Then there was a demand for loose cargo and to load and unload, and of course, here you go, container transportation. Yeah, and then one of the lightest is the Uniwind. That's for 2 people. I sat in it. It's very comfortable, and it can bring you anywhere. So this is the design of the Unibike, and this is the design of the Unibus. But it doesn't stop there. Just let me put the person in. Hide the floating control. Okay, because let me wait till that's gone. Here it is. Here they are on the tracks. Most of our vehicles are on the tracks already. I mean, it's not just the design. Yeah, the designs are beautiful, but we're much further than the design. They're already hanging on the tracks because we have 2 test parks already. So this is real pictures. These are real pictures. Unitruck, real picture. I saw this vehicle load and unload in 3 seconds. You cannot imagine how specified engineering is implemented in these vehicles. You cannot imagine. And this one is to load, for example, containers or ships. And then the Uniwind. This is a very special story. I told you we can build anywhere. Do you see the other vehicle at the left? It looks like a helicopter, but it is not. It is a drone. There is no pilot. Yeah, you can see that. This is a picture I made myself. And you see in the background the people, so it's quite a big vehicle. I was surprised how big it was. And it is remote controlled, and it can lift 1 ton. This is a patent of our CEO. Our CEO designed this vehicle. So it's can lift 1 ton. This anchor here can be lifted by this vehicle. So we can place any anchors everywhere in the world, any place, without destroying nature, without destroying the environment. And then a helicopter brings the engineers and the technical staff to put the anchors in the ground. That's it. So we can build anywhere. Yeah. Do you understand what that means? How many remote areas are still in the world that is very, very difficult to be reached? Yeah, very difficult. And this is my favorite one. That's the Uniflash. Why is it my favorite one? It runs between 500 kilometers and 600 kilometers an hour. And here you see me sitting in it. This is the real one. By the way, if you know a piece of land of 25 kilometers, this vehicle still needs to be tested and certified. And we need a land of 25 kilometers for that. We're still looking for that piece of land. So then, the story about the unicorns, that is the container transportation, that when this vehicle is certified, and that will be very soon, because yes, it is hanging on the tracks, then we will go back to the harbor in Antwerp. So this vehicle can only cost $1 the 100 ton the kilometer. $1 the 100 ton the kilometer. That's amazing, yeah? $1 the 100 ton the kilometer. And if you see sand on the ground, we have 2 test parks, one in Sharjah next to Dubai and one in Belarus. You see green grass, it's in Belarus. You see sand, it is in the United Arab Emirates. Okay, still people coming in, they're quite late. And then we have the U-Light. The U-Light was developed because the Dalai Lama asked us to help him with the transportation of his the people who visit his monastery. And so Unitsky was thinking about it, and he developed this vehicle. This is especially for tourism. And this is a vehicle with a lot of capacity, because it's very light and it can be built anywhere. And it is already in processing of be certified. So how does the technology works? It is important before you invest in something that you know what you're investing in. So let me explain to you what are you investing in. Such a mind-blowing technology. Okay, first of all, this is a metal frame, nothing special, but it is filled up with flexible concrete. That is special, yeah. That is or also a patent of our CEO. All right, still people coming in. Let me get them in. And so that means if this is flexible concrete, that means that the rail cannot break. So tsunamis, hurricanes, earthquakes, you name it, the rail will not break. It's flexible, yeah. And then the white dots in here, inside the flexible concrete, are no dots. These are strings, metal strings. And by the way, they are produced in my home country, Belgium, by a very well-known factory. And these strings are wrapped around each other. So you can see 7 strings wrapped around each other, like we do that with rope, to make it bear much heavier load. Isn't that amazing? So simple, but it is amazing. And on top, of the rail there is a cover with metal, and this is a combination, a special combination of metal. It is also a patent of our CEO. And why is it so special? Well, the wheel is also covered with this metal, and if the wheel runs over the rail, there's almost no friction. And when there's almost no friction, first of all, no sound, yeah, not this chirping, you know, annoying sound of rails, yeah, none of that. But also, if there's no friction, the vehicle uses less energy to go forward. Remember that, because I will tell you all about the energy consumption. And then the tracks are 5 times stronger, and the ride is, 3 times stronger, and the ride is 5 times smoother. And I can tell you that, assure you that, because I was in these vehicles several times, standing on my 2 feet, not holding my hands, and I had to look outside to see if we were moving. So it is not a bumpy ride at all. You don't even feel it. You have to look outside to see if you're moving, and you don't hear it. Yeah. And why is that? That is because the anchors are double anchored, and we can build over mountains, over rivers and valleys. Yeah. All right. We have 3 sort of rails. We have the flexible one, we have the rigid one, and the semi-rigid. The flexible one, that is the one that can be built in remote areas. Then you have the rigid one. You can see it's a double rail, and that is for the heavy load, a lot of passengers, you know, or cargo. And then the semi-rigid you can compare with trains and trams, and that is built in cities. The rigid one between big cities, and the flexible one in remote areas. And I told you the wheel was also covered with this special combination of metal. Here you go, that's the wheel. You see the wheel here, and that is the engine. This is also a patent of our CEO. So this is a new engine. It doesn't exist yet. And this engine can run on any environment-friendly fuel. So what are the advantages? I told you already, the energy consumption is very low. It's not only about there's almost no friction between the wheel and the rail, but also the aerodynamics. You saw on the pictures, and you can see here on the picture, that the vehicles have strange shapes, yeah, shapes we are not used to. Well, there is a reason for it. You see a car is driving on the road, and you see the yellow arrow. The air gets trapped underneath the vehicle, and the vehicle will be pulled a little bit backwards because the wind is swirling at the back and pulls the vehicle backwards. So the vehicle needs extra fuel to go forward. The aerodynamics are expressed in Cx. So the aerodynamics of a car is 0.4. You see a Formula 1 car is doing much better, but still you see the swirling at the back, yeah? And so the vehicle needs extra fuel to go forward. With Unitsky, it's in the air, so the air cannot be trapped. So the Cx is 0.06. So if this vehicle passes you, it will not make any noise, you will not feel it, and the leaves of the trees will not move. Let that sink in. And so the energy consumption is very, very low, 880 ton fuel each year per vehicle. Isn't that amazing? And the rest of the parameters, I know this because in the port of Antwerp, they were blown away. Also, the capital cost. That means, how much does it cost to build this? How much does it cost to build this? Very, very low. I will tell you more about it later. Operation cost, so the maintenance, very, 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 very low comparing to the others. Then the energy consumption. Remember, the rail, the wheel, yeah, the aerodynamics, very, very low energy consumption. And at this moment in the world, it is very important, right? And then the capacity, boom, we overcome all of them. Yeah, it's amazing what this technology does. And of course, the last two ones are the most important for me. No pollution or almost no pollution. And then, of course, very, very, very safe. Our CEO tells us every time, if we take over 50% of the transportation in the world, he will save 1.5 million people life. Why? Because 1.5 people in the world lose their life through transportation vehicles. Isn't that shocking? So yes, we're doing very good delivery time and delivery cost. You can see we're almost beating the airplane. And then people say, yeah, Kaat, but there are other transportation systems in the world. It's not only you, Sky, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's compare. Let's compare. You have the monorail, magnet levitation, hyperloop. Well, you have probably heard about them. Thank God they're all eco-friendly and safe. Well, the hyperloop medium, but still safe. Then there is the problem, flat ground. They all need a flat ground before they can start building the rails and the technology. We don't have that problem. We have no limits. We only need anchors, place of anchors, and that's not a lot of space. Yeah. And then people say, yeah, but the Hyperloop, yeah, the Hyperloop is going 1,200 kilometers an hour. Come on, time is money, blah, blah, blah. But look at the price tag, 100 million and more the kilometer. My God, the kilometer. So a normal train track without the train vehicle, train track costs 22 million a kilometer. So next time when you're in a train, 22 million, 22 million, 22 million. Yeah. U-Sky costs between 3 and 8 million the kilometer. What do you think your government will like more? So who is the author of this technology? Let me introduce you, Anatoly Unitsky Eduardovich. This man, I spoke with him twice. Once he sat down with me and said, ask me any questions. And we talked for 1.5 hours. This man is a genius. Every 10 words he speaks out, 8 words are to save the planet. Yeah, 8 words are to saving the planet. That is his vision. He was 6 years old when he had a vision that he would change transportation in the world. And he is doing it. He's doing it together with us. So this man has 150 inventions on his name. 150. How many do you and I inventions have on our name? This man has 150 inventions on his name. He wrote 20 monographies, that means books, and he wrote 200 scientific papers. So if this man was an actor, he would be world famous. But he is world famous, but then in the engineering world and the science world. Oh, these people miss out so much. They're so late. All right. So that's our CEO. I'm very proud to know this man. So proud. And he made, 40 years of designing and developing this technology. He has a museum in Belarus. I saw it, I've been there, and wow, what this man produced in his life, it's amazing. And you can see here on the picture, that was his first test vehicle. It is still alive and renovated and shown off in Belarus, the park in Belarus test park. And then at the right side, this is his latest design, and that is the Sky Space. That is a design to put all the factories into space and only have a green planet. I sign for that. I don't know about you. So here are some patents. He has patents from all over the world. And he took the transportation all over the world. You can see him here standing but me and Vladivostok, the engineer who introduced me to the technology. And these two gentlemen are people of the National Railroad in Belgium. And they were asking for the CEO because they have so much problems. And they're not the only one. I know that in the meanwhile. And behind a strong man, you have a strong woman. And this is Madame Nadezhda. And she is a very good businesswoman. She's also an engineer, and she keeps the whole company running. She even got a certification in 2018 of good management. So hooray for that. So products and results. All right. Here you see at the right, you see Unitsky String Technology building. That is ours, 9-story high building. We started with a small office. We sold it. We bought a bigger one. We sold it, and then we bought this one. This is not from the bank. This is ours. That is gathered with our money. You can see the address. Everybody's asking the address. Here is the address. You can take a screenshot, no problem. We have 600 engineers, and specialized designers working for us in that building and in the test box. You see here this beautiful picture with some vehicles above them, all together in the test park in Belarus. And people are still coming in. Oh, that's a shame, because they are late and missing it out. Then this is our factory. It's also ours, yeah. It's owned by the co-owners. So you own a piece of this factory. We started with the main building here, the white and the blue in the back. And then the little blue one at the left wall, it's not that little, it's quite big. And then the bigger one at the right. And this is in Minsk, in Belarus. Belarus is an independent country between Russia and Europe, so don't mess up that. And then here some beautiful pictures in the factory with the engineers proudly posing in front of the tropical vehicle. I told you in the beginning, the vehicle that can stand very high temperature, moist, and sand. Then at the right, this is a vehicle that can stand very cold temperatures. And then people say to me, but God, these vehicles are in the air and they're made completely out of glass. Yes, but this is smart glass. This is one of the patents of our CEO. This glass can stand sharp projectiles hitting with an impact 500 kilometers an hour, and the glass will not break. Yeah, the glass will not break. Plus, the glass keeps the temperature in the vehicles very, very good. Well, it's a very nice temperature. I know that because when I was driving in these vehicles, the first time it was very, very warm outside. And in the vehicles, it was very, very nice temperature. So I told you we had 2 test parks. Well, this is one of them. In Marina Gorka, that's 150 kilometers from Minsk, the main capital of Belarus. This was a swamp, a test area for the army. It was a horrible place, and we made it very, very beautiful. You can see we planted fruit trees. We even have a green garden there. We have a pond with fish in, and we have an eco house there. The eco house is a self-sufficient house with a garden on top on the roof. And we have we have fruit and fish and vegetables there? Well, if delegates come to us, we feed them with our own fruit, vegetables, and fish of our own ponds. Why? To show them that this transportation is completely ecological. And that is every time a statement, you understand. So here you have the Innovation Center in the UAE. That's the second test park. And you can make a screenshot. This is our address. So you can go there. But notice, if you want to go to a test park, you cannot just go there. It's not open for public. because they're mostly testing or building something or changing something. So you need to make an appointment to go there. Yes, please make an appointment a few months before you go there, because otherwise you will stand in front of the door and nobody can let you in. The engineers are not allowed to invite public. Yeah, you understand that. It's all about safety. So this is in the test park in Sharjah. This was a special day. Remember the introduction? I said that I was the leader of a leaders team. Well, this is the leaders team. Well, not all of them, but a big bunch of them. We're with 130 people from all over the world. And this was a celebration day that the first put in the anchor, you know, the first anchor of Sharjah in the ground. And you know, it was for us, you know, another big, huge step to take. And in the meanwhile, this test park is completely developed, almost completely finished. This is one of the last passenger and cargo stations. And you see the rails are connecting to the station. So here you see your CEO very proudly showing the sign towards the center on the street. And then at the meanwhile, there's also a eco house. It is the only wooden house in the whole of United Arab Emirates. He had a approval of the King of the United Emirates to build that house. Why is it so important? Because this is also a self-sufficient house. In the middle, there is a garden, and there's even fruits and vegetables growing. You can see it's completely green. And how do we do this? The secret lays in the soil. Unitsky designed a sort of soil that you can also use in space. And any green can grow on it in any condition. You see, we're in the middle of sand, yeah, a desert, and there's green grass in front of the eco house. There's a tree in front of the eco house, and the eco house is surrounded with green and inside. Yeah, I love this picture. I mean, this is our CEO. He's just an amazing man. And of course, we got into the media many times, and also in CNN Business and Fox News. And then we had a tsunami of emails and telephones. We were at the Expo 2020 in Dubai. We also were at the Expo, the Smart City Expo in India, not so long ago. And here are some pictures of our colleague, Mr. Saeed, who really did a good job explaining all about technology and co-ownership. And then this is a very special picture. Let me hide the floating panel. This is a picture of our CEO, Anatoly Unitsky, holding a certificate in his hands. This certificate says that Unitsky String Technology Inc. is a reliable and bona fide partner for business activities in Belarus and abroad. What does that mean? It means that we are welcomed in the transportation technology in the world. So in 2022, this year, there will be a new transportation in the world. You know, cars and trains and trams and metros and planes and trucks and whatever. And there's now U-Sky. Yeah, it's a transportation, string transportation in the air. And then Anambra State, every time I say this word, I like this word, Anambra State. It's a beautiful name. It's one of the lucky ones in Nigeria. You can see here pictures of the first meeting with the governor. And yeah, this man is going to change Africa. I'm very sure of that, because he's going to bring U-Sky into Nigeria. He's a very innovative and ecological minded man. a lot of respect for him, and he's bringing Unitsky to Nigeria, and that will be the start for a whole of Africa continent. And there are a lot of delegates from a lot of continents flew over to Belarus or to United Arab Emirates, and still are, to visit the technology. Yeah. Okay, so let me tell you about your privilege to be here. Yeah, your advantage of this technology, not only the whole world, you know, and transportation and the next generations, but also you will have some big advantages if you invest in it. Let me let these people in. I know, team, I know that you do your best, but it always pops up, so don't be bothered. All right, so we started in 2014 with nothing, just an idea, you know, an idea of a genius. We started gathering money and money and money, and every stage we built something, we bought something, we built something, we bought something, and after stage 8, there was no risk anymore. Why? Because we have enough asset to pay back all of the investors. Now we're in 14.2, so we're in the half of the 14th stage, and poor people, they try to get in, and so we only have one stage to go of the financial plan. That doesn't mean that if we make profit, we don't get our dividends. No, we just want to finish the 15 stages. And what do we need? I told you we need 25 kilometers of land to build the transportation, the high-speed transportation. That goes between 500 and 600 kilometers an hour. That's what we need. And then we can finish off the 15 stages. So the 15 stages do not command if we have or determine if we have our dividends, yes or no. All right. And we have, for every budget, we have an offer. The smallest package is $50 and you get 800 shares. You get even packages that you can buy off in 5 or 9 months. And yes, we have already over 400,000 investors in the world. And you see me here standing in front of the high speed. That's my favorite, with colleagues and co-owners of my home country, Belgium. So what will you own if you step in, or what are you owning if you're already a co-owner? You're an owner of dividend shares. What are dividend shares? These are the A-class shares, the most important shares. They give you a passive income for the rest of your life and the next generations to come. How? Because Unitsky gives 100 years guarantee on the tracks and does the maintenance. Yeah, so the Unitsky String Technology, the company, gives 100 years guarantee on the tracks and does the maintenance. So from 100 years from now, where are you? Yes, so yes, it is inherited to your children. So you give a financially safety net to your children too. Yeah. And a lot of people ask me, can you sell these shares? If we go on the stock market, we can. But would you sell the chicken with the goose with the golden eggs? Would you do that? Would you make somebody else rich with your shares? Would you do that? Just wait until we have the dividends, and that will not be taken a long time anymore. So what is the stock market? So, you know, why are a lot of people ask me, when are we going to the IPO? When are we going to the IPO? Well, let me explain about the IPO. Yeah, we are in the pre-IPO. The shares are very cheap, between 2 and 6 cents each. Yeah, it depends how many you buy in one time. So we have the A-class shares, the dividend shares. The shares that go on the stock market, yeah, these are the B-class shares. So the less important shares. You can buy them, sell them, buy them, sell them, and hope to make a profit. Yeah, I did that with Tesla. I bought them at $46 each. and I sold them at 84 each. And I thought I made a good profit. Let me let these people in. But now, you know, Tesla is at 300, but you don't know that. You don't know that. It's a gamble. Yeah, you do not know that. But with these shares, the A-class shares, yeah, the dividend shares, you don't have to gamble. You just own them. And every year, the company makes profits. Every year, there will be dividends. Every year. Let me see what is going on. Mrs. or Mrs. Erika, you are trying to get in and you've been shut out every time. It's annoying for you probably. So what does the IPO has impact to our A-class shares, the dividend shares? Well, if we would go on the stock market, and at this moment that is suicide because the stock market is very unstable, and we do not be known in the world yet. Yeah, so we need to be known in the world yet, and we need commercial projects for that. But if we would go on the stock market and the price of the B-class shares would go up because people like to buy them, then the profit would go up. And if the profit will go up, the price of the dividend shares go up. And the more shares you got, the more profit of dividend you will get, of course. So this is also something important. We show the world that we passed an audit again. Yes, an audit is something very intense, a long procedure that they investigate the company. And yeah, we passed it again. So we're a healthy company, very good managed. And you see here inside our building, our designers and our engineers working. Another thing, a lot of people ask me, Kaat, how long does it take to build this technology? Well, it depends, but this is a roadmap. Yeah, the first step is the pre-visibility study. What does that mean? That means that we need to get information from you. Yeah, we need to get information from you. What do we need to know? Well, what is in the ground, because these anchors, they are going to be in the ground for 100 years at least. Yeah, we give guarantee for 100 years. Yeah, so at least 100 years. So we need to know what's in the ground. Then we need to know the infrastructure, what is, you know, the environment, where do we need to build, how many vehicle stations, all the information, to gather all the information. If we work together with a company, for example, who have already experience on that field, it doesn't take 6 months, not at all. It can take much faster. For example, building construction company, or a company that already built railroads, you know, that if we work together with them, then it goes much faster. Then the designing, between 12 and 8 months. It also depends, you know, who's helping us, who's, you know, cooperating with us. Yeah, and then the construction time, you can see the design and the construction time can be carried out in parallel at the same time, does it mean? Yeah, then we have the startup of the personnel. Yeah, we have to teach them. We need to teach, you know, employees in all these countries how to work this technology, because it's new, completely new. Yeah. And then 24 months, there is a, you know, a guarantee, and, you know, if there need to be adjustments, blah, blah, blah. That's the whole procedure. So if you know somebody who is interested for this technology, a big company with transportation problems, for example, send the person this. On our website, you have a whole roadmap, even written out. I just took a picture of the design, but you have it all, you know, written out. So that is a question answered, I think. Okay, so get on this, get shares of this rapidly growing transportation company. And how do you do that? You contact the person who brought you here. You give your name, email, your best email, and your phone number to this person. This person will give you a back office, yeah, and he will or she will also show you how to do that. A good sponsor, we call it a sponsor, helps you to do that, to upload your money, to help you get some shares. And then I have a request. Please, please, please. The browser address is this one in red here. That's the browser address, because there are hackers on the internet, especially on Google. So do not Google Skyway. Yeah, do not Google Skyway Capital or Skyworld Community or whatever to log in. Please send this browser address to your email and start from your email, because there are hackers. They change a little bit in the browser address. You do not notice it. You log in, you upload money, and your money's gone, and we cannot do anything about it. Yeah, so be aware. Tell people, please tell people. Okay, and what about the shares? How much do they cost and how much do you get? At this moment, let me take the package of $1,000. And I told you the smallest one is $50. Yeah, so you get 800 shares. One share costs you 6 cents. Yeah, very cheap. Remember, I bought Tesla shares for 46 each. This is 6 cents. Okay. For example, you take a package of 1,000 or 2,000. It costs you 3 cents. 3 cents each. So for $1,000, you get 30,000 shares. 30,000 shares. That's amazing, yeah? Okay, so that's in one-time payment. If you click on the link your sponsor sends you, and you upload, you verify and upload your money and pay your installment in one time or in periods, in months, then you will get 10% on top, 10%. So for this one, you get 3,000 shares for free. If you're quick, for the quick people, you get 3,000 shares on top. Yeah, so that's 33,000 shares. And I told you we have packages that you can pay off. Okay, so again, the 1,000 package of 1,000, it is called the stable. You get 20,000 shares. You pay off 5 months, 200 each month. Yeah, your shares will cost you 4 cents each. Yeah, and if you start a double payment, 200 plus 200, a double payment is 400. We will get 1,000 shares on top. So that's 29,000 shares. If you're starting and you're quick, you get 10% on top of that. Yeah, so we give a lot of shares for free, and take advantage of it. Please take advantage of it. And there is, for the active people, there is a competition at this moment, and you can win one discount of 100. Yeah, 1 to 100 discount. That's how I should say it. 1 to 100 discount. What does that mean? For $1, you get 100 shares. Yeah, for $1, you get 100 shares. So count this out. If you buy for 5,000, you get 500,000 shares. 500,000 shares. Yeah, do you understand? And that for the rest, as long as there are shares. Yeah, it's not just one time, it's as long as there are shares. And everybody's asking me, Face of the Future, that was the discount 1 to 100. And that is not coming back, I think. It's still in our back office, but it's deactivated. So you can have this discount through this championship challenge. And there are 3 stages. Yeah. So take advantage of it. It's not so difficult. You only have to subscribe 3 people, I think, with a certain amount of money, and that's it. And you get this discount for you and 3 people in your downline. And if you organize, you organize with your team, you can even make more people happy with this discount. And then there's also the app. There's a free app. This is my phone. You can put it in English. It's for free. You go to your Play Store and you go to SkyWorld Community. It's for free. You see the logo, nothing else than this logo. You install it. What can you see? You can see the news. You can see the shares you own. You can see if you are an active partner, and you can see your bonuses and so on and so on. Yeah, please follow the news, because this is your company. Yeah, this is your company. So you can follow your company. This is the new website. Yeah. You can make a screenshot of this page. You can find Unitsky String Technology on YouTube. We have our own site. You find them on Facebook. You can find Anatoly Unitsky on Twitter, on Instagram, also on Facebook, YouTube. I have a request from you all? This man is 73 years old. He's still working. He's still very active. He's still working for the next generations to come. He wants to improve our quality of life. Give him a like, give him a shout out. Thank you very much. Be nice to the man, because he dedicated 40 years of his life to this technology to change our quality of life. Yeah, so be nice to him. Say hello, give him a like, subscribe to his channels. Be nice to the man. Yeah. And he likes it. He likes it very much, because he's a very, humble man who likes people. Otherwise, he would not do this. Yeah. And yes, we have a new website. Did you already visit our new website? It is beautiful. It is beautiful. A lot of new pictures on there. It's very explained very well, and it's worth to visit. So my name is Kaat Jacobs. I am the communication manager of SkyWorld's community platform. I started my own channel, and that was through a joke. I was in the fair in Berlin when we had premiere of the high speed. That is a fair that is called it just slipped my mind. But anyway, the biggest fair in the world for transportation. And there's not for public, it's for specialists. There's 1.5 million people visiting it every 2 years. All the big brands are there, and we were also there. And we had an overflow of interest of people. I mean, it was 3 days hard work. And after these 3 days, at Sunday evening, when the fair was closed, we sat down, and one of the Unitsky's salespeople and negotiation people in the United Arab Emirates sat down with us. And he said, well done, we're all very tired, but well done. And he said, he showed his telephone, and he said, you don't work, this hard for nothing, because look at this, what I get from messages from big companies like Maserati and all these big companies. We're invited everywhere, he said. And he told me, all the owners of this technology, the co-owners, the owners of these shares, are the new millionaires in the world, but they don't know it yet. So I said to my colleague, wow, that is a wonderful name, new millionaires. So SkyWorld New Millionaires. We started this 4 years ago, and now there are more than 11,000 people in the group. And I personally react on all the messages in that group, because that's important. Yeah. So we have a Facebook group, YouTube channel, Telegram, and Instagram channel. You can find me on WhatsApp. This is my WhatsApp number, and this is our team's email address. Why India? Because I'm responsible for India. I like it to be responsible for that beautiful country. So india@skyweek.capital is a email address where you can find me and my team. So thank you very much for your interest and your teamwork. And I would love to see you next time live if you see this recording. And then I will stop the recording, and all the people who are live here, they will be able to ask me any question. So let me stop the recording.